Hello and welcome to this episode of the Ranting Atheist podcast. Today we'll be listening to the third part of the Clubhouse room from the Clubhouse archives. And that room was titled, "Do Christians Worship the Same God?" So we are just continuing the trend, the trope of Christians weaving and dodging, continually showing that God is the author of confusion. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. And it was fun. It was fun as always, and I hope you enjoy it. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing on Apple, Spotify, Google, and YouTube, and other places that podcasts are available. Then please rate and review this podcast on whatever platform you are listening to. And if you can't do that, recommend this podcast to someone you feel needs to hear it, either offline or online. Really appreciate that. Also check out the show notes below for links that you will find relevant and useful. So now let's go and listen to the Clubhouse room that was titled, "Do Christians Worship the Same God?"
Okay, hold on. I know you want to have follow-up. This is the issue with this kind of thing, but you hold your question. I know. Somebody that has not spoken since, I've been seeing Abiola. So Abiola, you are welcome. Are you kindly let us know which side are you on? Are you for the devil or for Jesus?
I don't even know, but the thing is, I'm for God. I believe in God.
Okay.
And the reason why I would say that is, to some extent, I'm an historian. I'm always curious of so many things, and when I'm curious about things, I'll do my research till I find something tangible. So I've been in the room for quite a time now, and I've been listening to everybody's contribution, and I just want to say some things. You know, being a Christian and you are curious about if this thing is bullshit, what I'm doing is bullshit or not, if there is God or not, you need to at least look for the basic, as in go down the history lane of Christianity. And from there, you will understand that, okay, is this thing coming from the supreme God we wanted to believe, or is not coming from him? If it's coming from him, we will know that, okay, we have to follow this doctrine. If it's not, then it's bullshit. You know, none of us here, I don't mean to be rude, but I don't think any of us here has been able to find an opportunity to read the original Greek Bible. Like, when I mean the original Greek Bible, because, you know, Jesus, which we believe brought Christianity, is from Greece, Hebrew, as people always say, from Greece. The original written Bible is not what we read in, let me say, use Nigeria as an example, because a lot of things a lot of doctored, as in we find a whole lot of doctored, a lot of contradictions and everything.
Things that have been changed, Abby.
Yes, expunged. A lot of things has been expunged, and also. So now, if we have the opportunity to read this Greek, this Hebrew Bible, which I don't think it's available in Nigeria. I don't know, but I don't think it's available in Nigeria. We'll find it, we'll discover that these things we are talking about is actually a simple religion, something that it is not as hard, something that it is not as choking as what we do here. Why I would say that is, in Greece, one thing is they don't have letter J, alphabet J in their alphabet. But in our own Bible, we keep having Jesus, Jesus. Where do they get this J? That is number one question we will also ask ourselves, because in as much we want to believe this name, Jesus, we still want to know where the name comes from. Because if we don't know where the name comes from, we will not know how to do away with a lot of things. Because from the history, the name Jesus is not what the man was being named when he was born. Jehoshua, yes, it's Jehoshua, not Jesus, not Emmanuel, that we do here. So a lot of things like that, we need to find. We might be curious, but we need to find deep about what we are looking for. Look inward. Jehoshua is a very long name. Like, when we have Benjamin, they say Ben. When we have a lot of names like that, they will short. They will get it short because it's a long name. Jehoshua is a long name. Now they normally call him Ishau, because it's a shortened word of being called Yeshua. The word Ishau is it means the word Ishau is like the spelling is just you removing the letter J from Jesus. So when we try as much as possible to look at these things one by one, we will discover that it is the Europeans that they painted everything for us just because they want these things to themselves. They want us to believe that they were the one that brought the religion, and they want us to follow it the way they wanted it to. And the Bible we use in Nigeria, sorry if I'm taking too long, the Bible we use in Nigeria, even the pastors, every one of them, they use the Bible to suit themselves. There are some elements in the Bible that are still real. There are some verses, though it's not that much again. There are some verses in the Bible that are still real, but pastors will not talk about it. They want to use the verses that is very, very incompatible with whatever they want, the doctrine of their home church. For example, when you're saying in First Corinthians, like, it was stated straight and crystal clear, let all women keep quiet in the church. If they have anything to say, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to talk in the church. Now, if we are to look at that statement together with maybe Muslims also believe women are not supposed to be having that freedom to talk in congregation, just because I don't want to go into that aspect. Different reasons. So if we are to consider the two things, that means that statement is right. The statement that comes from the two parties, they are not contradicting themselves. They go in the same line. And if we are to believe it, it is true. Because a lot of things attached to it, just because they don't want a lot people to get intimidated, or people to get for a lack of better word, for people not to be attached to that person, maybe by the voice or by the pronunciation of letters or words. So to cap everything, we need to always understand what we are holding from the beginning. As in, let's go deep, let's understand it, let's see if it is really what we can deal with. If it's not, then nobody will say, okay, if you are not a Christian or if you are not a Muslim, Buddhism, Hinduism, any of the religions, you will go to hellfire. But let us be curious. Once we are curious, let's find deep inside, and I'm very sure we'll find answers because historians are always writing things down. They will always write it down, and you'll find it via look.
All right, thank you, everybody. I don't see everybody again. See, me too. I want to talk. Let me address what Abiola just said.
Abiola, please.
Yeah. Just hold on. Let me quickly answer him before I forget.
I just want to.
Yeah, I said now. All right.
Thank you, Mr.
So Abiola.
Thank you very much for the neutral ground you are creating, and you have thrown more light to whatever everybody have been arguing about, and it makes a lot of sense. Because people, they don't really know the root of or whatever they are saying. That is why they have this misconception. Thank you very
much. Honorable. All right. So I see you. Let me just address something Abiola said now. And I always it's what Abiola just said. It really exposes how powerless the God of the Bible is. He said there's an original text, whether it's in Hebrew, Aramaic, or Greek, and the Europeans changed it, and that is what is in the churches today. This is the most powerful God, the supreme God, yet he could not protect his words from being manipulated by a bunch of Europeans. I'm sorry, but if you want to ascribe God to anybody, let us worship the Europeans, because those motherfuckers are more powerful than your God. Because everything you know about your God, there is no Christian on this goddamn stage. The God you are defending, you are speaking for, it is through your Bible you knew about your God. And that Bible has been manipulated by puny humans, puny white humans, puny European humans. And your God stood there and watched. So you coming to bring history, you are just basically opening your nyash. That's the way I see it. You mean it's just I don't even need to read your history. I can be ignorant. It just shows how useless the God of the Bible is. That the ordinary Europeans can come and change A to X, X to 17, 17 to 232. And your God stood there and watched everything about him, knowing fully well that you Christians will only know about your God through that book. And he could not even the Europeans have edited it. Even in translation, there are so many destruction of context there. Translation. That's why there are so many translations. Because some people say King James did not do it well. So some of them went back to the original Greek text or the Aramaic text and did their own translations directly. And even in that, you see mistakes in translation and contradicting each other, contradictory translations. The how do I put it now? These are the things that does make it so glaring. It is so easy to see that this is just nothing but human beings being humans. If the Bible was done in the 21st century now, there will be algorithms that can do match and replace, and but that human beings do this thing. So error is inevitable. That is why the Greek Bible can be easily changed, because it is bunch of scrolls, bunch of scribes who's in charge, the powers that be that can do and undo. Really shows how powerful, or rather, how powerless the supreme God is, which is it's so laughable. It's just laughable. So I saw L, you want to go quickly? You'll soon round up now. Time don't they go?
Sorry, Beatrice. I was supposed, like, my target audience was supposed to be to God. When he has left, anyways, Abiola.
Sleep down, catch him.
Here's the thing, Abiola, according to what you just said, I believe you're a Muslim, and I've heard this a lot from Muslims. They're trying to say, I think because they have, from the translation, when King James was doing the translation, that was where fault came into the Christianity religion. But here's the thing, during those days, you can't make that kind of mistake. It was King James, so it's impossible. They translated it according to the English language that was existing then for them to be able to share the gospel easily. All right. So don't even bring up that one. I've heard Muslims bring this in a lot. Now you just said it yourself that there are some texts there that are the same to the same text in the Quran. Now that will make me move on to my next step. There's a reason when you look at the title, you see the title there, Abrahamic. You get that. I don't know if you've understood, but you see, it all started from Babylon, all right? With the cultures of tradition of Babylon, that was where they formed the Judaism, the first Abrahamic religion, all right? Now, after some years, during the birth of, because time changed, they started counting time differently. They started counting time like the year 2000 now, from the birth of Christ, that's AD. So AD, during the birth of Christ, that was when Christianity came up. Not even Christianity as a whole. There's this preacher, which is Jesus Christ, all right? Now, after 300 years of his death, that was like the year 313 something plus, all right? About 300 years of his death, that was when they legalized Christianity as a religion first, because there was this problem with those people that was following Christ and the normal Jews there, because they were adding his own preaching, his own teaching into the Judaism religion. All right. So it became conflicted, like, you know what? Christianity is going to be legal now for you to worship. Even that was when, because Romans were the the colonial masters of Israel, of the Jews at that time in Judea, you get. So in Israel, they were in charge, kind of. So they had like, okay, they were under Roman Empire. So they made it legal. Even the Romans took it home because they found it fun, like they loved the religion and they took it home and make it their own religion too. All right. So during those years, you see, now after 300 years more, like yet 600 years plus, you get, that was when the Prophet Muhammad also saw this Christianity religion. Now it's now the Judaism plus the preachings of Christ together. Now they added their own on it. So that's why when you look at these three religions somehow, they always have similar things. But here's the thing: it's like Christianity is the advanced Judaism, while Islam is the advanced Christianity. So they are all the same. All right. And I want to tell you that before this religion existed, before Babylon culture, there have been gods like the Olympian gods that has tried to claim they are the supreme. There are cultures like that, and they have failed. And there are gods like Norse gods that also tried, like there were religions like that, and it failed. And I'm telling you, in the next 1,000 or 2,000 years, there will be another reigning religion. So that question, this, why am I saying this, was to phrase the question to God. Like, now you see why people would always question you. What make you think this your religion is the greatest? Because as a matter of fact, this religion you're talking about wasn't even the first of its kind. Neither was it the last of its kind. It's actually in the middle of the Abrahamic religion. So you get, so how are you able to say, okay, this is the real one? Because it didn't even stop there after you've advanced it. There came Islam at the back. And there are more religions to come. And this three, the reason why this religion has lasted, this Abrahamic religion has lasted, is because there are three different kinds. The Jews are there, the Christians are there, and Islam are there. If not, probably would have died like maybe 1,000 years ago. Nobody knows.
All right. So, Abiola, I know you want to reply, but Bruce, if you say something, then Abiola will reply. Then we close.
I think
Close for
Abiola
the
should
day.
reply first because that conversation was kind of about him.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Brutus. Quick one. See, I am a liberal person, and I go for wherever I see happiness. Happiness in what way? Wherever I see answers to my questions. I'm not saying all this just because presently I'm a Muslim. I'm not, no. But I'm saying this just because I've once been a Christian. I was born in a Muslim family. I wanted to know things about Christianity just because I can't just stay outside and say I know everything about the doctrine of Christians. No, I wanted to know. So I went to church, joined choir, do a lot of things, ask questions and all that. See, these prophets, they came from the same lineage. Go to history, you will see. And they preach the same thing. But Christianity, sincerely, Christianity was not what Jesus, as they call him, was not what Jesus brought. Jesus did not even tell any of his disciples to say, okay, I've brought a religion to you and the name is Christianity. Christians, or you called Christians and religion is Christianity. No. It was after when Jesus left, when he was, some people believed he was killed. Some people believed he was arose by God and kept just because of a lot of problems. Like anybody can understand that. After he went, those there are some people they call pagans. Those people, they started mocking the disciples. Like, see these people that followed Christ, Jesus Christ, the Christians, they mock them the way Americans mock the black Americans. Like, see this Negro. That's how they mock them. Then they use that name just because they have been called Christians, and so be it. Let's just continue being a Christian because we are the follower of Christ. Jesus Christ never tell them to say, okay, you are Christians and your religion is Christianity. All what he said was, I'm leaving you now, and I'm leaving you with shalom. He just says shalom, peace. And the only place I want to believe, I want to accept what else said was, they came from the same they are preaching the same thing. Shalom means peace. Islam means peace. So it is more or less the same thing Jesus preached that Muhammad came to preach, to cap. Let me use that word. And in the original text of Bible, because if you go to Greece, the meaning of Bible is book, just book. If you go to any books, any bookshop, and you enter, or any bookshop, just say you want to buy a Bible, the bookseller will ask you, which of the Bibles? Is it a Bible of biology, Bible of mechanic? Just say Bible. It means book. The holy was just what they had to add to make it different. So saying in the original text of the Greek Bible, Jesus said it. The Hebrew, let me use Hebrew. Yes. You know, that's they were Greek, and their language was Hebrew. I'm just using Greece for a lot of people to understand more. Jesus said it.
It was in Judah, not in Greece.
Okay, Abiola, just round up.
Is the one Israel?
Judea.
Israel.
Yeah, Judea. Oh yeah, Abiola, quickly.
Okay.
Before you finish, wait, Abiola, hold on. Before you finish, Ragnar just came up. So Ragnar, do you want to address Abiola? Okay, hold on. I suspected. Hold on. So Abiola, please finish. Then Ragnar will address you.
Okay. Now, in the original text, there is what Yeshua said. Like another person is coming after me, and his name will be Ahmad, like Muhammad. It is basically said to his disciple, like, you will definitely see one person after me, and he told them the name. It is inside the original text of the Bible, which is what we don't have here in Nigeria. But let's put our minds on how we can find deep. Like I said earlier, look deep. Arguments is always one thing we can use to learn and unlearn and relearn also. Let's find these things, look inward, find solutions or answers to your questions. And if you have found that you are not satisfied again, then you know that what you are holding, any religion you are holding or any religion you are practicing, does not have the full you don't have the full idea of that religion, or the religion doesn't even have a base. That's what I want to say.
All right. Thank you. Although I know you want to talk, but please hold on. Just hold on. This reason why Beatrice was supposed to go, but why I asked about Ragnar. Ragnar is an ex-Muslim, and he will give us a better insight with his objection. So please, Ragnar.
Yeah, I don't have anything much to say, to be honest. I just wanted to know where you got the definition of Islam to mean peace, because Islam means submission. That's why when they say Aslamtu lillah, it means I have submitted to God. So I want you to correct that statement. Please stop dropping blanket statements.
Okay, thank you. Look for the original meaning of Islam, and you understand what I mean. If you want to greet people in Islamic way,
sorry, there is a difference between
alaikum.
salam and Islam. Aslamtu and salam are two different things.
They are not.
I suggest you
That's
read
just
about
my
it,
answer.
please. You should read about it, but there are two different words.
Okay.
All right. Okay. That is settled. Yeah, Beatrice, then Odion.
Okay, I wanted to just say to the give me a second, please. Sorry. To the Christians and this their strong belief system. I just want to say I understand that there is a need for you to hold on to an identity to feel like you're connected to something. But there's something Abiola said about looking within, because I would just suggest that you just out of yourself and ask yourself what other people that have never heard about Christ or Allah practice, because there's people like that. In India, they have over 100 different gods that are practiced in different villages, and the next village does not know what the other village is practicing and has no idea about it, but will speak with conviction that their own God is the right God. So this is a worldwide problem in different religions. So for Christians to just sit down and think that because theirs is the one that is the largest religion in the world, then it's the one that must be the truth. You have to remember that there's a certain people that control the world. These are the colonial masters. They don't only control Africa, they control 90% of the world. They are bound to pass on what Abiola said about how they had rewritten it. If you didn't know, Black people were not even allowed to read during slavery. The first book that we were ever allowed to read was this Bible, the ones you guys are reading, because it was written to keep you being a slave. So that's why everything that you read is obviously you doing what they expect you to do. Stay locked into this book and see nothing else. And it's not important to me what you do to find your happiness. If it brings you joy, all grease to your elbow, but just keep in mind that there's other people, and those people stand for something else that is worth adhering to and worth listening to, because they are humans like you. And if you can't see yourself in another person. You shouldn't think what you're doing is above the next person. Alim.
Thank you,
All
Beatrice.
right,
You always
thank you
stand
very
on your.
much. All right, so Odion, you then will close. Sleep, work day.
Okay, so yeah, can you hear me? I just want to confirm.
Yeah.
All right, so I just want to say some few things, and please, I hope you give me just a little bit of time.
All right.
First, to address Beatrice's statement, and also to state something. What Beatrice pointed out was just normal, fundamental human rights and respect for the fact that we are diverse. If I'm correct, I hope I'm correct. Meaning that you're a Christian and other people are not Christians, you should respect the fact that everybody's different. But it's also reciprocal, meaning that
No, that's not what I said. Sorry. I said you should understand, not that everybody's different, but that everybody
okay,
has a belief system they can decide to counter to yours, which
okay,
means y'all are just believing theory.
all right, okay. So this is the point I'm making. You should. I think that it's only normal, right, for the sake of human decency, that you should also respect that if people say they are Christians, you should give them the space to practice what they want to
She
practice.
just said that's not what she was
I
saying.
didn't say
No,
respect.
no. Relax. Everybody has a belief that is contrary to ours on the basis that Christians like to force their beliefs on others. Am I correct?
I would assume so.
You do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you are trying to solve that problem of, hey, Christians, don't force your belief on others. My point is, and I'm saying this because when the ranting atheist was trying to identify God, he said God is a useless God. He gave adjectives, and I know somebody said it's sarcastic. But my point is this: if people hold a belief, it's almost like if people hold a different culture from yours, it's only right that it's reciprocal. If you want Christians to accept that other people have beliefs that are different from theirs, then allow Christians to also have their beliefs. If they want to believe in God, then fine.
I
For
don't
the
think
sake
there
of
will be a
See,
fight if Christians.
Odion,
no,
Odion,
see, let me.
Odion, Odion.
Yeah.
Hold on. Please, are you telling me that we that are not Christians are impeding Christians from believing what they believe? Is
This
that
is
what
what
you
I'm.
are
Okay, this is what I'm.
you answer that question? Is that what
Let me
you are
answer.
implying?
Let me answer. When you say, and because this is it, because a lot of we are Christians, but we're also human, and many Christians are still growing. When you come out and say, "Oh, God is a useless God," you do know that if you say that to any human being about any concept, it always has its consequences. You do know that, right? So if some people say that I believe in something, and you come out and in your own way as to counter them, you give certain adjectives like that, it literally has a way of affecting people.
So is that impeding them from worshiping their God?
No, I'm saying that I think you should just respect human beings. If I say that I want to believe
See,
in God, and you
hold on. You are not answering my question.
okay,
How are we impeding people from worshiping their God? That's what you are implying. I don't
that's not what
understand
I'm
how.
implying. That's not what I'm implying. I'm just saying that respect
That's
people if
what
you
you are
choose.
implying.
No, now you are
That's what you're
making me.
implying. See, what you are trying to say, I know what you are trying to say. We should respect their belief. I've mentioned it that we cannot
Don't
respect your
respect.
belief.
He said,
No, don't
They are
respect
not
my belief.
entitled.
No,
he
don't
said,
respect my belief.
Yeah.
Respect my choices.
Oh man.
Respect my
Clause here,
choices.
Odion,
Sorry,
is respect.
John
Yes,
said,
The
John
clause
means
here
that
is the respect.
it has a
yes.
psychological,
And I'm saying
Beginning
if
and the
you're
end.
answering my question, I didn't say anything about respect.
So what did
We're
you say?
trying to, as atheists, I'm not one of them, but I'm going to speak on behalf of them now.
Okay,
But as atheists, they say, one, your religion is not true. They
okay,
also say, aside the fact that your religion is not true, science, quote unquote, in different ways, has proven to us that your religion is not true.
okay,
And now, and I'm saying, because you've heard that, I'm also adding to that your religion not being true, that there are other people like you in places you have never seen that will never see you, that have
okay.
never heard of Christianity because they were never infiltrated by the white man. So they have a belief system that they stand firmly by. And if they were in this room today and could speak English, they will argue with you to the death of them that their religion is the one true religion. And I'm saying both of you and those people should take a look at both of yourself and step out of yourselves and see what you're doing to yourselves. You're sitting there trying to put one person's religion above the other. That's nothing to do with respect. It's just like you guys, you think yours is better than the other. So the clause here is not respect. It's more about how don't I just let people, not even people, how don't I just let life be? And like Abiola said, go within and find your answers. If atheists don't want to go within, let them believe in science. Other people want to go within through different means, through meditation, through whatever means that you know how. But I would suggest that even you Christians, you stop going by the doctrine. Why? Because that book was written by the white man to keep you indoctrinated.
Should I counter this? Beatrice, if I go in and I look within myself and I come out having done it very, very accurately, and I still become a Christian, would you still have a problem with that?
That's the thing I'm trying to tell you. The fact that you had even stepped out of Christianity before to come back into it, it means you're on a journey of self-discovery and you are not at the destination yet. But you picked a book that is very popular and you decided to base your arguments of finding yourself through that book. And I am saying separate yourself from the indoctrination and find self within. Bookless, no doctrines. All the answers you're looking for are inside
Beatrice,
you.
Okay, Beatrice, yeah. Thank you.
Let me please, let me conclude let me conclude.
Okay.
Now, this is the reason why I will still hold the Bible. Now, if you read the story of the children of Berea, they had the Bible, but they still reviewed the Bible, meaning that how can I understand the concept of the God I believe in if I throw away the Bible? It's just like many times that scientists come against the words that scientists say. They would not throw for example, when physicists come against, say, the theory of relativity, they will still read about the theory of relativity. They will not say, let me throw the entire physics away because I don't believe in a certain thing.
That's a false analogy. They test it. They test it and follow the principle. They test it if it's true to look whether it is false. They falsify it. The Bible does not open itself for falsifiability.
Exactly.
So you cannot bring that here.
Even trying to make room for falsifiability.
Audio, see, let me just end this. Everybody, Audio, listen to me. I don't want to listen to me. You said that when someone like me says fuck God, and the average Christian will get riled up and they won't like that.
It's just human logic.
Yes. Now, what I'm trying to say is, fuck how they feel. I'm not insulting them. I'm insulting their God. Let their God come and fight me. The fact that they are reacting on behalf of their God shows how powerless their God is. Their God is weak.
They are
reacting. No, they are pissed off that I'm insulting their God. This is the same thing Muslims do.
I have a question.
This is why they are blasphemy laws.
I have a question.
This is what I'm saying. If you choose the path, fine, choose the path. If other people choose their path, fine, let them choose their path. My point is, you are human. It's only logical as humans that if a people choose a belief,
their path is entering our own. They are disturbing us with their path. That is why we are here. If they are not disturbing us, they are disturbing us.
Can I quickly say something?
Let me ask a question.
Bring out that Bible.
Sorry,
1 minute. Just 30 seconds.
Can you allow us to ask you a question, please?
Chris, let's
let me conclude, please. This is what I'm saying. Somebody came to me and said, God does not exist. And yet the same person cannot explain to me how time, space, and matter came to be. Of course, you have disregarded the Christian God, you have disregarded the Muslim God, but you need to give me a final explanation to how time, space,
I don't know, man.
Can I answer?
I don't know.
Can I answer?
Can you allow us to ask
you? See,
you're just
wait. Ragnar, hold on. Audio, I don't know. You don't know. You are just concluded. It's yours.
So how can you not?
How do you prove that it's yours?
How can you conclude
we don't know because we have not seen any. Okay, how do you know there's no Superman? How do you know Superman is not real? Can you prove Superman is not real?
My point is
Oh
this.
God.
If you feel you
Audio,
don't
I'm done with you. Your dishonesty has revealed itself. I'm done with you. If you are going to come here and tell me you don't know if Superman is not real, I'm done with you, please.
you're
I'm done
angry
with
because
you.
You are deflecting from the actual
I don't want to
question.
do this. I'm
We are
closing the room.
serious.
I'm closing. I'm done. I'm not ready to get irritated. This is what I say. This is what
I'm only
Christians drive
asking
me
you
mad. You want to
I'm not
come and tell me you are agnostic about the existence of Superman, Spider-Man, Thanos? Are you fucking kidding me?
I said
Don't
they can
fuck
be
with me.
real.
Oh. This
They
you
can be
see.
real.
See this what pisses you see. Let me stop
Bro, what are you
ranting.
saying?
Let me stop
What are you
ranting.
saying?
I'm done.
I asked you a
I'm
simple
sorry,
question.
I'm
I asked
done.
you a
guys.
simple question.
I'm done.
Audio,
Prove
Everybody,
to
good
me that
night.
God doesn't exist.
Every
No.
Prove to me. If
wait,
there is
someone
time,
I should
space,
prove to
and
you that
matter,
God
what
doesn't
created it?
exist.
Who created
Prove
time,
to us
space, and
that God
matter?
exists.
Prove
So
to
you
us
see
that
it.
God exists then.
See,
What are you
But
saying?
see.
Prove to us
Everybody,
There are
that
hold
God
time,
on.
space,
exists.
and matter.
Everybody,
Nothing
hold on.
outside of it.
Audio, you have reviewed that you are just a basic Christian. All your dancing you've done this morning. This you have already
You are just
done it.
angry with me.
Prove
And I
to
wonder how
prove
you
to
got
me
there. You are angry, I
because
understand.
you refuse to be straightforward. I'm done.
Where did I fail?
I'm
Because I
done
asked a
with you.
question.
I'm
Because I
done
asked
with
a
you. You because I'm done with you.
Um,
You are
please,
not straightforward. Simple
I
question.
beg you.
You tell me that Superman. You are telling me you don't know what Superman could be real for. Who the fuck are you? Are you fucking kidding me,
Wait,
guy?
because you asked a question, bro.
What
No,
level?
now,
What level of
no,
dishonesty is that? Is
no.
so forget it.
You asked a question. You
Forget
asked
it.
a question that is very, very funny.
Forget it.
You asked a
Forget it.
question that is very
You
I'm
are not
only
ready. I
asking
mean,
Odion, please, can
everybody,
you
thank you
just
for coming.
answer the last
time to
question?
go.
He doesn't want to answer.
How do
I'm
you
done.
prove
I'm not.
to us that
Answer what?
God
To prove that Superman exists?
exists? Odion,
He's telling me
just
to. Oh
prove to
God.
us that God exists
Your
without
best
using
proof.
the
Your best
Bible.
proof that
Prove to us that God
Okay, this is it. There is an intelligent force.
zero
Because if there
Bible
is no
now.
intelligent force, yes, if there is no intelligent force, what created time, space, and matter? Because it cannot exist in time, space, and matter. What created? How do you know that something can live and die? It has to. Whatever created, it has to exist outside of it. So what is it that created it?
Can I ask you
What
a
is it that
Can
created
I ask
space?
you a question?
What
yeah,
created the earth?
what makes you think that is your own
Can
God
I
now?
ask you a question,
I'm not saying
Why
it's
are you
Odion?
my
not
God. I
saying
said
it's your
prove
own
to me
God?
that there is no intelligent
You
force.
said it's your
answer
own
the
It's
God.
your
question.
God.
Answer.
Everybody, I'm done.
Your
Everybody,
own
please,
God.
Hold
please,
on,
please,
That's
Beatrice,
please.
fine.
zero.
Beatrice, let me.
See, I'm tired of this rigmarole. This is what irritates me about Christians. Oh yeah, Beatrice, please. Beatrice,
Yes,
you want to say something?
yes, Odion. This is what I want to ask you, right? In the Bible, at the beginning, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, it says, in the beginning, the Lord created the heavens and the earth. Why I'm saying to you that the God that you that you should prove to us if your God is real and you're like, who made time, space, and matter? Whoever wrote the Bible at that time, as much as we don't know, to the correction in which we are reading today, skipped out all the planets that are being discovered every day. Do you think if they knew that information, they would skip it out not to keep you locked in the most? So I can prove to you that the God that you think is the correct God is not, because if he knew all of these things, we would know about all the galaxies that human beings have to find. You can't say that these galaxies that people are finding are lies. They're not. They're real. They exist. The Bible says nothing about them because at the time could not find that information, not because it wasn't true. So they wrote this book for people to follow and took out some parts of the Bible. I don't know if you guys have ever heard, but lots of parts of the Bible are missing. Then rewrote the book to suit what they want you to believe about the book. And then they have people like you arguing to the death of you with no tangible stance point as to why you feel like your God is the right God. But you're going around in circles telling us about all these things, the Bible, what the Bible is saying. Then you say, who created time, space, and matter? Why is that our concern? The ranting said it is not your concern. Why can't you just be life and just let it be? Leave the freedom that Arthur said he had before. That's the key thing that you should be like, I feel like we should all be seeking for. I feel like that's what will elevate us as a people. The constant need to be stuck to this place and say respect other people. We are one people. When I look at you, I see myself, and when you look at me, you should see yourself. So if we have something that's dividing us that is supposed to be some type of superpower, we need to really be able to separate ourselves and check that. And that's what you're doing. You're refused. They've asked you several questions today. All you've done is vomit the scripture. And that doesn't answer the question. How do you know that the God that you worship is the right God? I learned my point.
All right, so let us call it a day. At the point of him trying to play the Superman, that's when I just knew this dishonesty is watchword. Oh yeah, yeah, please final words. It's true
Yes,
now because I don't know who here is agnostic about the existence of Spider-Man or Superman. I don't know who.
okay, here's the thing.
I don't know who.
I'm not okay. Maybe you might not get where Beatrice is coming from, but let me just try to make it very simple. And then I'll end with a simple question so you can take away home. Here's the thing. So you understand that humans have been existing before we started the reset of the AD when it comes to calculating time to the year 2021 now. So my question number one is, if your God is the real God, why didn't it reveal itself till the year 300? You understand? That's number one. Because there has been gods before then, other kind of gods. All right. Now, if your God is the real God, what make like haven't you thought of the idea that this whole religion you're serving right now, it was simply a culture and tradition of the Babylonian Empire that was then made into Judaism, and from Judaism was there formed Christianity, and from there to Islamic religion. Historically, these are facts. All right. So you are definitely taking another man's culture in the primitive age of days of owning slaves and conquer. That's why I get why people will say the white men rewrote it to enslave people. But to me, logically thinking, I only feel like the white men used it, not rewrote. Like they used it instead because it favored their agenda. Because during those days, the Babylonian era, they were conquering and making people slave. That's why you get context like slave, respect and fear, not even respect, fear and tremble at your master of your fleshly being. Like I didn't get the verse correct, but it's exactly like that in different translation. The way you will fear Christ. That's where you get text like that because during those days, it was the era of conquering cities and making people slave. So the white man saw this and feel like, wow, this will be perfect for us. During the Roman Empire, the Romans were actually conquering. So when they saw this religion, they took it to Rome and make it so that because the best way to keep people captive is not just only by physically captivating them, is by actually putting ideas in their head that will cause fear. All right. So like, I believe this is making logical sense to you. I'm not trying to bombard you with many ideas and other stuff. Just think about it. This is a culture, a tradition of a nation from the time of primitive years of conquering and making people slaves. So now you are taking another man's culture. No, don't even think like religion, culture, the Babylonian culture as your advanced Babylonian culture as your religion right now. You get because if this Christianity had been formed from the Greek mythology, you might as well be serving Zeus right now. Or if it was formed from the nomadic era, like you might as well be serving the Norse gods right now, Odin. So just in case you didn't know, there have been gods before the Babylonian period. And that was where Judaism came from. Bet Christianity, hence bet Islam. So think about it like you, maybe a Yoruba man, then you went and take an Igbo person's culture. This religion is, you're calling it religion right now, but it started from people's culture. So that's where the idea of the white man saw it and be like, wow, this is a perfect weapon to enslave people. So I won't say they rewrote it. I said they translated it and used it to hold people captive, not just by fighting them, by selling these ideas to them. So maybe when next you go home, think about it.
Lastly,
Why are you serving or following a religion that promotes slavery?
Lastly, please, let me quickly say this, John. There is a fallacy you're making, logical fallacy you're making, which is very, very, very absurd. It doesn't really portray you as someone who is, you might be intelligent to an extent, but try not to make this mistake anywhere you go to or you want to make an argument. You're making an argument of fallacy, which says that argument of fallacy of ignorance. I think that's what it's called. You don't know. We don't know, therefore you're God. You don't know, therefore you're God. I mean,
God of
you're
the
trying to make a
gaps.
conclusion. You're trying to make a conclusion based on the fact that nobody knows, then you're God. You're using your God to fill the space. You're not going to still end up knowing. I mean, if we're going to go by that, that means every other person that believes has their own personal belief. I mean, why don't we fill, the gap with their own belief system and not yours? Don't know if you get what I'm saying. So it's better you leave it open. Like if you don't know or nobody knows, leave the gap open and keep on searching than making a conclusion that then it's your God. No, it doesn't really make sense. That's a logical fallacy and it doesn't portray you as someone who's intelligent. That's what I would say.
Please, I would just lastly like to say to Odion that while you're following religion, just keep in mind that the people who follow religion the most are the poorest of all the populations on
Exactly.
earth.
Exactly.
Guys, all the mic I've been blinking.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, we say something then. Odion will wrap up because everybody has been
Odion, to
bombarding.
you, all I have to say, the reason why we don't have to respect your religion or whatsoever you call it is because you guys constantly oppress us with this religion, with the laws that you make. And go to your scriptures, both the Islamic and the Christian scriptures, you'll see that you guys describe unbelievers as the worst possible things. Your own religion is based on criticizing and insulting unbelievers, yet you want respect. Come on, don't you see the hypocrisy in that?
It's quite ironic. It's quite ironic,
Come
man.
on,
He,
come on.
he might say he doesn't do it, but it's what the book
Yeah.
in the
Not him. The religion itself is
so
based on
yeah,
disrespecting other people. Come on, man.
yeah. So do you answer and then we'll wrap up?
Okay, sorry. So if I want to even first apologize if I may have vented at any point. Sorry. So there is one thing, Ragnar, because you should know that as Christians, and the concept of Jesus Christ is to expound the law, meaning that when you tell me that my religion or my belief or my faith, whatever it is, says to consider the unbeliever as the worst possible thing, it would be interesting if you can give me a text, a biblical text, direct me to a place. Because sometimes, I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, we're in you. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, so because sometimes, and this is one of the beautiful things I learned as a Christian, people take the Old Testament, a specific event. Now, the Old Testament is like a compilation of events. For example, if you're reading theories in physics, you must talk about the origin of physics, and a lot of things in the origin of physics have already been countered by future physicists, right? So people take the Old Testament and try to base Christianity on the Old Testament. So if you say that my religion, my faith says disrespect other or consider the unbeliever as this, please, it's really important you give me a text so we are not being abstract, right? So this is what I mean when I say when I asked Beatrice, I said if I tell you that the God the Christians worship is the same as the Muslims, it's because of one key thing that Jesus said. He said, and this is life eternal. They may know you are the true God. What he meant was this, and it still goes back to the question I asked, and it's the reason, one of the key reasons I'm a Christian. It's when Jesus began to explain God as the concept of eternity. That was when I was completely sure of who God is. If you believe that God is eternal, then you obviously serve the same God. The problem isn't with the God you serve. The problem is with how. So that is where the beef is really with Christians and other religions. It is not the fact that, okay, we think that, oh, our God is different. Are you saying that I do not know that Allah is God on the concept of how Allah has been defined? If Allah is eternal, if Allah exists outside time, space, and matter, the Bible literally started with Genesis so that you could understand that that was the defining, the original definition of God. If he exists outside time, space, and matter, then he is God. because Jesus reiterated it when he said, and this is life eternal. That means it is not defined by mortality, and this is life eternal, that they may know you are the true God. That is, you are the true God on the basis of eternity. So that is what it is. People have diverse ways of worshiping God, but surely a host of religions, a host of denominations worship the same God.
Okay, so thank you, Odion. So to finally end it, please read John chapter 3, verse 18.
What does it say?
Everybody.
John chapter 3, verse 18. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the Son of God. Please tell me how that is not condemning people that don't believe. I don't know. This always drives me
Can I
mad.
just say what I think Odion is trying
I beg, let's end this room. Let's end this room before things go. I beg.
to
He's already saying that's nonsense now.
But the
Odion,
ranting atheist,
this is
the ranting
something I
Bro, I don't want to hear anything from you again. The Bible is right there saying it. We that don't believe are condemned. Don't come and dance around and
Odion
give me sin.
Which is
I'm ending the room. Everybody, thank you for
do well to
coming.
review
I don't want
everything
to
you
hear.
see. Inside Christianity,
Uh,
outside Christianity. Please do well to
see, bro, if we
thank
don't believe we are condemned, let your Bible has fucking said so. Don't come and tell me shit.
What about when I did
I
not
bet,
believe?
guy. Just your Bible has said it. We have accepted it. We are condemned. Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay,
Bye bye.
no one. Good night.
Everybody, thank you,
which is
Jare.
the same thing
thank you.
here, please.
Good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe up on Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, and other places where podcasts are available. Please also rate and review on whatever platform you are listening to. Have a great week, and I will catch you on the next one.